So, for example, let's start with a very, very basic example here. So, for example, you just make a contribution, okay? You just make a contribution and nothing else happens. Nothing else, no other reportable transaction occurred during that tax year. You can just say something like this, okay? Let me show you. So you can say during the tax year, the sole foreign owner paid, for example, some service. Remember, this is included, for example, formation. So a lot of my clients actually, through the third-party service, to form that company, okay? And since that company doesn't exist, right? Since they got no EIN, they got no bank account, so the company can't pay for itself. So most of the time, I think is paid by the owner, right? And for most of the time, they would classify this as a contribution. So the formation of that company is also counts, right? So, for example, during tax year, the sole owner paid 13. Some people use the Atlas service, Stripe Atlas, just 250, something like that. But some people use 300. Doesn't really matter. Okay, pay this directly to a certain agent, right? Or whatever company that helped you to form that for the formation. And for example, if you also hire, say, registered agent and registered agent service on behalf of the company, okay, so service, okay, on behalf of the LLC, using personal funds, okay, using personal funds, okay, and then if the LLC do reimburse the owner, need to say that. But as I said, I'm going to start with a very, very, very simple one. So you can say, you know what, the LLC did not reimburse the owner. Okay? So what do I mean by that? So the person, the owner, pay on behalf of the LLC and did not reimburse. That means, you know, that's money invested into the LLC, and then you know what, most of the time they can classify as the capital contribution. So you can say, well, this payment is treated as a capital contribution. Remember, this is like a contribution, right? Formation as well as a contribution, okay? As a capital contribution on the this specific there's like a section. All right, I'm going to save you guys a little bit of time. Just copy and paste this regulation here. Yeah, that's like Treasury regulation section. This is like a copy directly from the PDF, so I'm going to remove the format a bit, right? Let's do that again. Okay, so hopefully under this Treasury regulation section, right? This, okay? Hopefully that makes sense. Sometimes you may see the abbreviation like this. So for example, let me just get this under the Treasury regulation section. Okay, you can see this like Treasury regulation and all this. Okay, doesn't really matter as long as is sort of added here. You just explain this clearly, seems like a human language. Okay, it's not just some pure data, right? As a capital contribution under this section, right? And then that's like really, really simple one. You can say, well, that's it. That's the reason. This is not like a list of things that I have to type it out. You can say, well, no other reportable transactions occurred during the tax year. Okay, as simple as that. Okay, you give the explanations, right? So during tax year, they pay this for the formation, and most of the time the formation is like if you want, you can add the dates directly to a certain, then add a certain date. So for example, like July, and if I don't know, 25, and then for example 2025, something like that, for the formation of the registered agent service on behalf of this using the personal fund. Okay, you can add the date, as I said earlier. You can add the well, I did not add this. So basically, you need to add the date and the type. So we already got the type is like a capital contribution here, right? The date we already got this like July, certain date or whatever. You can if your company was set up at that specific time, you pay that a few days earlier, right? You just use that specific transaction date at that date. Date, type, and amount. We already got this amount. It's like how many? 300 or 250. That's early price of the Atlas, striped Atlas. A lot of tech startup are using that, right? And amounts and yeah, and of course you have to say the related party, okay? Because this is about the transaction between the related party as well as the LLC. So the sole foreign owner, and you have to say the sole foreign owner something. Yeah, just to enter that sole foreign owner's name to it. And of course that's a related party. And then, you know what? That's just the end of this. And do you need to sign this? You don't. It's just an attachment, okay? So if you want to fax that to the IRS, you just attach that to it. If you like email that, you attach that to the form 5472, okay? As simple as that. That's the most simple, like just a capital contribution to the company's scenario.